everyone. Welcome to my channel, Kimbaskrafts. My name is Kim, and if this is your first time stopping in, thank you for clicking on my video. I really hope you enjoy what you hear and see. If you've been here before, as always, thank you for your continued support. We are here with my post review. I'm so excited. I'm so proud of myself for having completed one of my, that's my coffee. I have the door open because I'm like, as soon as that thing stops, I'm pause. I'm so proud of myself for finally completing one of my large Diamond Art Club squares. Now I have more than one. I don't know how many I have, guys. We're not going to get into that. But what I'm going to say is that I have enough of them where I'm like, man, I need to start doing them, right? And so, yeah, we got one done. I'm so happy. This is Mountain Castle, and the artist is Dominic Davison. And as I had previously mentioned, this is from Diamond Art Club. It is a square drill diamond painting. It's massive. It's a 98 by 70. So it's a very large one. And if I push anything down, it's not because they're popping. They are not popping. It's because I didn't push them down hard enough when I was multi-placing. So I do this all the time. I just love the way square drills feel. Oh, just, it's such a neat feeling, isn't it? I mean, only we know what that is. But isn't it gorgeous? And I am just so thrilled with the end result of this. So this is an older one. I bought this back in 2022. I want to say when I did my unboxing and I went back and I looked exactly when, I think it was like November-ish, October-ish of 2022, which makes sense because I was probably having the winter feels at that point. And I wanted, the reason this one drew me in, first of all, I'm a sucker for the windows. When they have the windows and we're looking out of a window, I'm a sucker for that. I just love that concept. I love that look. I want to be in the room and enjoying the view. I just love that. So the windows got me. But then what else got me about this was it checked off that winter scene box. So, you know, I got all of this wintry goodness, and you know, when you're feeling, if you're a seasonal diamond painter, which I feel like I must be, then, you know, you're kind of drawn to these wintry scenes in the winter months, right? But what I loved about this was it brought in all of this other color. So not that I'm opposed to those winter scenes that are all blues and whites, like the whole thing, but this richness of these colors and the depth and the warmth that they gave, I don't know, I was like, oh, this is like the best of both worlds right here. I get to do my winter scene, but I'm not just going to be doing, you know, blues, grays, and whites. I'm going to be doing yellows and reds and purples and golds. And so it was like, I can't wait to do this. So I will say that I think it might be sold out. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's still available on Diamond Art Club. When I snagged it, it was on sale. So I was super happy about that. I did make a few changes for enhancements, and we'll go over all of those as well. And I was very happy with those choices. So the rendering, I think you can see, is amazing. Some people said they felt like the castle was a little blocky, and I get that. I can understand what they're saying, but I don't know. I'm just so in love with this painting. I think that, you know, I can really get that these are stairs. I feel like everything it's so readable because the castle is the focus, but it's farther away. So in order for it to not be blurry or, you know, it's still very in focus. And so I appreciate that. So the rendering was amazing. The stick was amazing. The drills were amazing. And sorry, I had to go get a cup of coffee. Okay. So what I'm going to say is when I first started to diamond paint this, I was like, I'll tell you what, I was like, I'm not going to like this. I didn't think I was going to like it because when I had the light pad on, it looked like there was a lot of gapping, but you can see, well, you can't see because you're not up close, but we're going to bring this up close. But that's not really the case. And, you know, I'm a square snob. So it had to look good or I was going to say some things. And yeah, no, once you turn the light pad off, no issues. Look at my bird. Bird. I know I sang that before. So yeah, I was, as soon as I realized, no, it's just the light pad. So, you know, of course I had to get so many squares over, and it was not going to be an issue. Then I was over it. I was so over that, like hesitation about whether or not I was going to like this. I was all in. I'm like, okay, this is coming out amazing. So I'm going to say that this sunlight that's coming in over here, I mean, I don't know how else they could have done that any better. I really don't. I mean, it literally looks like the sun is shining on that wall and coming. I mean, I honestly can't get over how well that looks. It's crazy. It doesn't just look like a big blob of yellow. It actually looks like there is sunshine on this painting. So I love that. The drills, like I said, were great. I'm not sure if these are the old drills. I don't know when all the phases went through. But for this 98 by 70 diamond painting, this is all of the trash drills that I had. And this isn't just trash drills. These are mixed with stragglers that I would find on the canvas randomly. So they're not even all trash drills. Some of these are just drills that I didn't know where they went. And so I threw them in here. So I think that for the size of this painting, it just goes to show you that the drills, you know, the quality of the drills were, you know, spot on. I feel like there's really nothing, I don't have anything negative to say. The only thing I will say is that I'm mad at myself because I really would have loved to have some purple sparklers in the grapes. So if I wish I had ordered that properly. I think I misordered, because I love myself a purple sparkler when there's purple, and I think it just would have really come alive over here. But you know, that's obviously not anything I can say about the actual canvas. That's just my mistake. But I did order, so the canvas came with 2 ABs. What were they? They were a yellow and an orange. Yes, a yellow and an orange. So like a lot of the yellow in orange ABs. You can see like through the flowers, and here is some of the yellow and a lot of it over here. Okay, so that was already charted. What I added to it were these three things, and I didn't use, I subbed exactly drill for drill. So I did the 3865 white. I got 2 bags, and this is all I have left. I subbed every single white drill that was charted in here, and honestly, I love it. It's my favorite enhancement that I made in the painting. So anywhere that there was white in the snow, in the trees, on the castle, like this whole side of this mountain here, the side of the castle here, here, they're all white ABs. It's like on the tips of the trees. So I love that. It's also like on the handle here. It's on the wine glass. So it enhances that. It's on the wick. It's in some of the flowers in the middle. And it's on the bird. So I really think that where that went, everywhere in the painting was great. Another change that I added was I did 676. And this was not color for color because I didn't have these options. So instead of 945, I did 676. So you can see it's slightly lighter. And that's up in the sky here. And it's scattered everywhere. It's all over the place. But again, I like where all the enhancements are. So I'm happy with it. I don't know exactly everywhere, but like I can see it here. I can see some of it in here, in the flowers. I can see a little bit of it in the clock face, in the wine. So yeah, it's just scattered everywhere. And then the next one I made was, instead of 402, I used a Pixie Dust 3854. And again, this is lighter. And I used almost the entire bag. I was like, oh God, I'm not going to have enough. And I don't feel like the Pixie Dust stands out as great. But I can tell you that a lot of it is in this door. See where the light is? Along here in the door. A lot of it down here. Some of it in here in the flowers. A lot of it in the desk. A lot of it down here in the desk. Again, through the glass of the wine. So, yeah, I'm very happy with all the enhancements. And I think that, you know, it did add some sparkle and some light and everything to this painting. So I'm very happy with how all that worked out. So you saw the 3 that I added. I only added 3. The other one that I wanted to add was one of the purples, because I think it's 3 purples, but I ordered the wrong one. So I wasn't able to do that. But yeah, that is my thoughts on this. I am super happy with this. I think it's gorgeous. The quality of everything, the canvas, the drills, the rendering, the spacing, magnificent. And like I said, I think it's out of stock, but I think it's still available. I also found out through this that this is a real castle in Germany, and a lot of my subs had mentioned that they've been there. So that's really cool. I'm like, I wonder if this room is really for rent. I wonder if Dominic Davison sat in this room and drew this. Like, how amazing would that be? or painted this. But yeah, very happy with it. And now we're gonna go ahead and get it down. Oh, just FYI, I didn't mention, I got these from DpWithSparkles. Okay. And the reason why the two don't match exact number for number is because, yeah, that wasn't an option. So, you know, sometimes they're not options. And so I picked colors off the website that I thought were like close to something. And then when I got them, I just matched them as close as I could with what was in the trays. Oh, and I did not run out of anything. So I had the kit up in 2 Elizabeth Ward trays. And here's all of my drills. Now, obviously, these 3 are completely intact because I didn't use one drill out of any of these containers. And so they're quite full. But you can see that everyone else is pretty full as well. You know, we have nothing that was even close to being shorted on. Nothing. And I even have, this is this guy. I couldn't fit it all in here, so I crunkled it up and I put it in a spare. But then I never even needed to dip back into that. So, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and kit this down. I'm going to go get all of my kit down things. And then, yeah, let's get this kit down rolling. So I'll be right back. I just found the drill. Before I move this off, I was thinking maybe you guys wanted to just, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. Hold on. Just so you could see a little more close, a little closer is what I'm trying to say. It's like a little pan over because it's so big. And you can see that even in the heavy color blocky areas, I didn't have a whole lot of like problems lining them up decently. It really did come out quite beautifully. So I'll bring it in a little closer so you can see that there really is no gapping. So you can see maybe like a little bit here, but yeah, overall, here's the AB that I replaced with. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna go get the kit down stuff. Okay, you guys are really high above me, but you have such a great aerial view. I keep finding random square drills that I'm gonna keep you up there. I don't like not being able to see what you can see, but I'll deal with it. So I think I got everything I need for a kit down. I don't know why I go through this every single time, but I can never, I'm always like, I always say this. Let me put it that way. Like, I don't know what I'm doing half the time. I don't know why, that's the problem. Oh, so besides 1 and 2, let's put these in order. And the way we do that is I'm just going to follow the pink numbers. So 3, I need 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait, no. Not reading the pink numbers. All right, so this is where people get upset that the pink numbers aren't, it's not 1 through 5, it's 1 through 5. Okay, so 3, I need 4. 3, well, okay, where's 4? Is this 4? Oh, here it is, 4. It's so hard not to look at the symbols because I'm so used to ignoring the pink numbers 5, 6, 7. This is a placeholder. I know 9. I saw 9 over here. 9. I need 8. And we know we're not skipping any numbers. 8. Does this fit? No. 9. Oops. 10. 11. Wow. The big guy. 11. 12. 13. 14. Doesn't really fit. 14. Here's 16. Where's 15? Aha. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 30, 35, 36, 37, I will put down there. Because they should be in DMC order. 38, 39, 40, 41, 41, 42, 43, 44, 40. Actually, I'm going to get rid of this. Just leave it like this. 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, and 56. So put all these in here. And, okay, so now I have them in order, so this will be a lot easier to check them off in the book. Squares. I'm going to have to probably expand the box this time. So 208. We're going to start in 208. And 208 is lavender, very dark. And we already have one, so I'm not even going to check it off. 300. Mahogany, very dark, we have one. 301, mahogany medium, we have one. 310, we definitely have one. 312, baby blue, very dark, we have one. 321, red. 321 is just plain old red. Okay. 322, baby blue, we have. 327, violet, we have. 334, baby blue medium, we have. 400, mahogany dark, we also have. 402, mahogany very light, we're going to have a lot of those now. 445, lemon light, we actually have. Okay. 550, there's no way we don't have my 550. Violet very dark, we have. 640, beige gray very dark, we also have. 647, I like this. Oh, I really like beaver gray. Beaver gray medium, I like it. 648, beaver gray light, we have. 666, red bright, we have. 742, tangerine light, we have. 743, yellow medium, we do not have. We actually do not even have a card for that. So let's go ahead and make one of those up. Here at the top, all by its lonesome. Okay, 775. Baby blue, very light, we have. 779, brown, plain old brown, we have. 782, topaz dark. We don't have a DAC, but we have a card made. What was it? 782. 783, topaz medium, we have. 803, deep blue, blue deep, we have. 814, garnet dark, we have. 815, garnet medium, we also have. 823, blue dark, we have. 844, beaver gray ultra dark, we have. 890, pistachio green ultra dark, we have. 892, carnation medium, we don't have that at all. Okay, we need a pink card. 892. This looks orange though. The sticker looks orange. 892, 893. Carnation light, we also don't have. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I put 922 on here. I need 892. No wonder why it looked orange. Okay, that makes sense now. Oh, goodness. Okay, so 892. And 893. Okay, there we go. That's better. Silly girl. All right, where are we? 890, 895. Hunter green, very dark. Oh, another one we don't have. Dark green. Here's a card. 895. Make sure I go in the 890s. 895. All right. 898. Coffee brown, very dark. We have 904. Parrot green, very dark. Oh, we don't have. We don't have. All right, let me just take these out. Okay. 904. Here we go. 904. 905 we also do not have, and that is parrot green dark. So not very dark parrot green, just dark parrot green. 905. 905 I meant. 905 and 904. All right. And 938. Coffee brown ultra dark we have. 939. Blue very dark we have. 945. Tawny we have. 951. Tawny light we have. 955. Nile green light we do not have. I will say that I felt like that was a new one. 955. It's like got a hint of blue in there, so it's very pretty. 3325. So now we go to the 33s. 3325. Baby blue light we have. All right, now we're going over here to these guys. Let's just bring this over. 3347. Yellow green medium we have. 3371. Black brown we have. 3755. On to the next page. Baby blue we have. 3756. Baby blue light we have. 3776. Mahogany light we have. 3787. Brown gray dark we have. 3801. Melon very dark we have. 3837. And this is the color that I was hoping to replace, and I did not. 3837. Lavender ultra dark we have. All right, let's bring this group over. 3841. Baby blue pale we have. 3856. Mahogany ultra very light we have. 3860. Cocoa we have. 3861. Cocoa light we have. And of course we have 3865. I lied. We don't have it in DAC, but we have the card. Okay, let's put this book away. I guess this does help so that I don't have to, I can put all of this stuff away and not have to pull a card out every time I run into the issue of not having it. You know, this way it's all prepared. I'm ready to go. So, in that sense, good job, Kimba. Pat myself on the back. All right, so we should be done with this. Should be done with all of this. Okay, let's see. It's we got a little room in all of them. So again, we'll keep this box right here and we'll see how it goes. I mean, I feel like this is a lot of drills, and we have the very high potential of running into needing more space, but let's just play it by ear. I'm pretty sure I'm probably getting my head into this. I'm not sure. I don't know. So Diamond Painting with Jack got me an Oklahoma mug. And when I realized that they had these mugs, I went out and I bought 3 New Jersey mugs, one for myself and one for each of my aunts that were on the West Coast, but grew up in Philly and then moved to Jersey and like when they were a little older. And, you know, they're Jersey girls at heart. So, and Philly girls at heart. So I got them each of one of these when they came out to visit last year. And I gave it to them for Christmas. And they love it. And I love them. So I sent one to Jack. I actually got 4 of them. That's right. I sent one to Diamond Painting with Jack. And I got myself one. And I got one for each of my West Coast aunts. So if you have not checked out Jack's channel, I've mentioned her quite a few times. We've been actually messaging each other, talking about books and stuff. So, okay, let's get back to the business. 208. Let's see. I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, I do feel like there's a decent amount of room in here. Okay. Oh, that's what I need, a placeholder. I like to use these guys. I don't know why. So this is DAC. Let's see if it fits. Oh, that's this is what I do every time. I'm like, I think I got everything. Nope, not even close. I just shut off my heat. Oh no, I didn't. There. I don't know what I did. I pressed a button by accident. But I mean, it looks like it matches. It actually looks like it matches really well. I just checked to see if my head keeps popping in, and I think it is. So, I don't know. I have you like, I feel like in the perfect position. All right. I hope. Okay. Now, anything I use, perfect, these match. Anything I use for my kit downs, okay, guys? The dividers, the bags, everything will be listed in the description. And I'm just repeating this because I do get questions like, where do you get the bags and stuff? So I try to remember, if you see me using something and I do not list it below for you, please feel free to, I mean, obviously, if you don't hear this part of the video and, and you're trying to find something, you can obviously message me. But I do try to list everything that I use in the description below. I try to. But if I forget something, feel free to ask me, and I'll give you a link, okay? So this matches. I love when it matches because I used to run into a problem where DACs did not match a lot, and I feel like I've been having success with that recently, so I love that. Where did I put the other one? Oh, in the other tray. Okay. Yeah, we keep doing that until that's full. 301. Yeah, so it seems like they're really matching now. And again, I don't know if these are, I should have my white tray, since I don't really want colors bouncing. A white tray. It's easier to, yeah. These drills are so nice. I feel like these are their new drills. I started diamond painting in 2021, and I think they started transitioning to their own drills in 2021. I don't know why that didn't come all the way off. It's clean. I don't know. But 310. Well, I don't have to color match 310. We have room in the bag. Yeah, we have plenty of room. So, just gonna dump them. And I didn't have static issues kitting up with this kit. I don't remember having any static issues. Okay, 312. This is gonna go by pretty quick. And since everything's in order, you know, I'll know if I'm getting tight in one column. Oh, that matches. I'm so happy all these are matching. I should put those cards that I had to make in order so I know the first one that I'm going to need to utilize. There we go. Let's see here. 55, 4, 5, 4, 9, 5, 9, 2, 9, 3, 9, 2, 7. So not until the 700s. And I did gel nails on my own nails, and they came out great. They looked great, but they don't stay great for very long. Now it's a matter of look, the label came off. And so I had to put on here, it's a DAC, because I can tell the labels, so I know right away. Except for when they rip and tear. Perfect. So let's try to get this one off intact so we can use it on here. There we go. 322. All right, so this definitely looks like it matches. I love having a lot of spare drills when they're of this quality, because I don't know why. It's that hoarder in me. Like, I was talking to, you guys know the Crafty Diamond, Debbie. If you don't, check out her channel as well. She's one of my closest diamond painting friends, and we're going to be meeting for the first time at the upcoming Great Lakes retreat. Oops. And so we're excited about that. But we talk, not every day, but we talk quite a few times a week. And I was telling her that I don't feel bad about my stash. Like, I don't have any other vices. And everybody has a vice. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't splurge on clothes. Geez, I was telling you guys, like, I was throwing away. I just cleaned out some of my closets again. Not my closets. Cleaned out my closet again, because not just my closet, but some of my drawers. See, I just had to rip a piece of this off because it's getting stuck. And got rid of more things. Like, I had pajama pants in there that I pulled them out and I showed them to Kaylee. I've had since they were like, she was like 5. She's 23 now. So just to give you an idea, like pajama pants for 23 years. It's ridiculous, right? So I'm not like a huge clothes person. You know, I don't go out to eat. I don't go out for fancy dinners. I don't have a lot of jewelry. Like there's nothing I work hard, right? But there's nothing that I splurge on except for diamond painting. So I give myself that. I like to have them, even though I know I'm never going to finish them all. I like the option if that's the one I want to do next month, that I had that option. And I don't know, I just, it's I don't travel, like, you know, we have to, and, you know, and if I was a musician, I might have 10 guitars. Like, I'm not going to play all 10 guitars at once. Yeah, I'll eventually play them, but, like, is it necessary? No, but it's what gives me happiness, right? And that's what this does for me. I like to have them. So I do. You know, I don't think I ever talked about this with you guys, but I used to be a big gamer. I used to play back in the day. Do you guys know what Ultima Online is? And it was on, obviously it's called Ultima Online. It was online and you played with other people, and like you went on quests and you went into dungeons and stuff. My main character's name was Belle, and she was a bard mage. And so a bard mage, she was awesome, guys. I could take her virtually anywhere by myself, except for like obviously like extremely hard. But what she did was oops, I left one in here. What she did was is she played an instrument, and she would provoke. It was called provocation, was her skill, and she would provoke monsters to fight each other. So they would, instead of attacking her, you know, I would use my provocation skill, and I would click on one monster and click on another monster, and then you would hear my music play, and she would make the one monster attack the other monster. So I would just sit back, right, and watch them kill each other and take no damage. And she was, so the way I was so into it, guys. For like 4 years, I was so into it. And Ultima Online was like so much fun. I mean, I loved it. But one of my favorite, absolute favorite aspects of Ultima Online was, I don't know if this is DAC. I feel like it's not. So I'm going to just, I think that's an Oraloa. And you could own a house, and your house had so many, what was called lockdowns. So your house could hold so many items, okay? The larger your house, the more lockdowns you had, right? And I'm talking like upwards of like a couple thousand items. So one of my favorite things to do on there, funny enough, was crafting. So you could build a crafter. My crafter's name was Gwendolyn, and she could make potions, and she could make weapons, leather armor. She could make all kinds of things. She was awesome. And so I loved crafting. So I had opened up all these vendors, and I would sell all these items that I would craft, because that's not everyone's gig, right? And some people just want to get on there and quest and kill, but you know, they want better armor. She was a stone crafter, so she could geez, they really match up. But I cannot remember for the life of me who that is. And she could make stone furniture to decorate your house. She could make wood furniture. She could make like all kinds of stuff. Just like, and I would sell all this stuff. And I was making, you know, oh man, why did I do that? Thousands of dollars, or I should say millions of dollars, millions of gold pieces. I was richer in this game than I was in life, of course. On this game, you know, crafting all this stuff. But I also was a collector, and that was one of my favorite things. Like, my favorite things were to craft and collect, and I would collect a lot of items. Like, I would this is DAC, but geez, that doesn't look anything like any of these. That is way off. I think I'm going to get rid of those, because that's not even close to the same color. This is like, I don't know. So like, I would do, like, there was this one quest that you could do, and one of the prizes was an obsidian head, and I would do that. And the obsidian heads, they were just decorations. They were just busts made out of obsidian, which is some kind of, you know, it was like some charcoal looking stone. And these obsidian busts would all have different names, and you just display them in your house. Like, you would put it on a table, or, you know, a mantle or something, just because you could decorate your house with like candles and candelabras, and those are things that you could make, that like my crafter could make. But I wanted all of the obsidian heads, all the different names. So I had like hundreds of these heads. I had no idea how many heads there were. And if you were lucky, very, very rare, it never happened for me, and I did this quest probably like 1,000 times, you would be given a head with your name on it. So it would say like, this is the head of Belle. So I was always trying to get that as well, but it never happened. But yeah, I was a huge collector. Like, I wanted one of everything, you know, and that was, I guess I was always like that. So I'm like that. Not that I want one of every diamond painting, like, that's impossible, and that's not at all my interest, you know, but I do look at it as like a collection, you know. And so I mean, there's definitely more that I want than I buy, of course. Like, just like there's more food that I want than I eat. Or coffees that I want than I drink, you know. You know, so I do curb myself in that sense. But I know I'm not going to finish all these. But I can't, but I'm not going to stop buying them either. Especially if one really, really moves me. Is this? Yeah. So I started to take inventory, trying to figure out how much I actually have. Because I really have no idea. So that's how we got onto it. I was like, I'm not afraid to know the number. You know, so I remember I was talking to this girl, this other, you know, we call each other gym rats on Instagram. She was like this, she's this huge gym rat, and she was working with a different coach than I was working, but we would talk back and forth, and we actually met at a bodybuilding show, and we became acquaintances that way when we would talk back and forth and stuff. And she 7:34 or 7:43. I needed 7:43. Man, I'm like really backwards today. Because I got this 7:34 sticker out. Well, as I was following her on her Instagram, I felt like every other day she was like listing sneakers. Like, look at my new sneakers, these Nike Airs, right? And those puppies aren't cheap. Like, they're like $120, $160 a pop. These sneakers, right? So one day I said to her, I said, she posted like she had just gotten like 5 pairs of them or something. And I was like, wow, how many do you have? And she messaged me back. She's like, oh God, I don't know. I think like 200 plus. 200 plus sneakers that are like literally $100+ a piece. I was like, holy mackerel. She's like, yeah, I'm obsessed. I was like, yeah, think? I mean, I wasn't like, I mean, hey, she had kids. They looked well fed. They lived in a nice house. Like, if she had the money and could afford it, go for it. But like, honestly, you couldn't even wear, if you wore a pair every day, you couldn't even wear one pair twice a day in a year. I was like, oh man, that's love. That's love for some sneakers right there. Meanwhile, literally, like, and I go to the gym 5 days a week, you know. I wear a pair of sneakers for like 3 years in the gym. Seriously, like 3 years. I honestly get new sneakers, not because they're actually like worn out, but just because they are a little dirty. Like, I don't beat my sneakers up. So I have 3 pairs of sneakers right now. I have a pair of sneakers that I got, I think 5 years ago. And then a couple years later, I got another pair of sneakers. I still wear those sneakers sometimes. I got those sneakers in like 21. I still wear those sneakers sometimes. And then I got a new pair of sneakers last year that I mostly wear. I mostly wear those sneakers. Now, the sneakers that I got 2 sneakers ago, like 5-6 years ago, I wear those to work. So I still wear them. I just wear them to work. They don't, to me, they don't look 5 years old or whatever. I don't know. But, I mean, they're still all completely intact. They're just a little dirty on the tops because they are black and white sneakers. And so, you know, they're over 5 years old and yeah, they're a little dirty. But I still find use for them. I don't know. And when I wear scrunch socks, I wear the high tops that I got, you know, in 21. And then most of the time I wear my newest pair. So, like I said, we all have our vices, right? I mean, and $7.79. Bad. It's Bella Art. They're not bad drills. They're actually really, really good drills. These match. So, yeah. There are a few of them that I think I want to de-stash. A couple of them that I want to de-stash. Mostly there are ones that I got in the mystery box that I would not have bought on my own. Like if I picked it out, then I pretty much want to do it. There is one that I got more for Bob because like he was at, you know, in the very beginning, he did a couple diamond paintings and he had said, this is Oraloa, so I'm going to put it in here. And he was saying that he didn't really see anything he liked, and I got this thinking he would really like it, and he like I was like, what about this one? And he was like, oh yeah, it's cool. So I got it, and I was like, look, I got this for you, and he was like, well, no, I don't have any interest in doing that. And I was like, okay, I'll do it, but honestly, I'm not crazy. It's not that I'm not crazy about it. It's just, you know, I wouldn't have bought it just for me. But we'll see. I might do it. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, I don't need it. So there's a couple that I might de-stash. 803. So back to this game. Yeah, I had so much fun on this game, guys. It was hilarious. Maybe this is DAC because I didn't put it with Oraloa. I don't know who else it could be, and it's matching all of my. And I do see a little pink on there. I think I'm gonna put this sticker over that sticker so that or next to it so I know it's a DAC. Yeah, it matches. The drills look phenomenal. So let's just make sure this comes off nice. Yeah. We'll put it like that. So what happened was my brother was recovering from a motor vehicle accident and his knee got messed up. And so he was kind of bedbound. Not kind of, he was bedbound to the point where he had to give himself like blood thinner and heparin shots in the belly to prevent, you know, developing blood clots and stuff. A nurse had to come out and show him how to self-inject because his knee got so messed up and he had to have surgery on it and yada, yada, yada. So while he was bedbound and he was unable to work or do anything, he got into this game, Ultima Online. Now, when we were little and we had that dial up. You guys were wondering where I was going with that, right? When we had the dial up, we played Ultima 4 on this, like, it was like, I think it was Apple IIc. Do you guys remember that computer? I mean, like, we thought we were we thought we were, I was gonna say, you know, we thought we were all that in a bag of chips, having this computer and accessing the internet. I'll be honest with you, like, my brother was always smarter than I am, so I had no idea. Like, he's the one that, you know, asked for it. I didn't understand internet or the concept of internet in any fashion at that time. Anyway, this game that we played was not played over the internet. It was not played with other people. That hadn't even been a thing yet. But we would play this game, Ultima Online, and I loved it. I always was into games, like strategy games and stuff, and this was kind of like a strategy game. And the point of it was, like, you wanted to build up your reputation and all this stuff. Like, I remember there was a blind vendor, and so you could rip them off if you wanted to. And, you know, one of your, what are they called? One of your, what characteristics? No, something that they tracked would go down, you know, if you ripped them off. I never ripped the blind guy off. I thought that was mean. But he ran a shop, and, you know, you would go and you would buy your reagents. Your reagents were the items that you use to, you know, concoct spells with. And so I played this game and I loved it. And, you know, as it advanced, it was Ultima 4, 5, 6, and then eventually when they started doing these mass, I don't even know what they're called, but these mass online games where you could play with other people all over the world. And Ultima Online came out with one. So my brother, you know, started playing it because he was bedbound and he was just trying to pass the time. And I went to go visit him. I had my kids at the time. I took my kids over there, and he's playing this game, and he was like, and he you know, he played Ultima 4 with me. He's the one that bought it, and so he knew how much I liked it. And he was like, Kim, this is so much better than that game. And he was like showing me everything. And, you know, I had kids, and I was like, I don't have time for that. Like, there's no way I could start a game, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was visiting him. I didn't have a job. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. $8.92. And so I was going over there quite a bit to keep him company. And I was visiting him a lot. And I was watching him play this game. And as I'm watching him, I'm like, you know, asking questions like, well, what's that? Well, what's that? What are you doing now? And he had made a friend on there. And the friend was pretty powerful. And so the friend was like, you know, and that's how it happens. Like, you show up, you're a noob, you don't know what you're doing. Someone more powerful takes you under their wing, starts showing you the ropes, starts teaching you things, you know, and then you grow from there. And then so he was like, oh, we're getting ready to go on an adventure. And so he's talking to his character's name was Herod Antipas. Apparently it was like this really bad guy in history, I don't know. And his friend's name was Elaine. And he's like, oh, Elaine's taking me to go adventuring, like in this other land. And he's like, so we're getting ready to go over there. And I was like, oh, well, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm packing up my regs, because he was a mage. So he was a magician. So he needed regs or reagents to cast these spells, right? So he's like, yeah, we're meeting at this bank. So there was towns. There's like multiple towns. And you would say, you know, meet me at Moonglow Bank, or meet me at Haven Bank. And you guys would meet there, and then you would all travel together to wherever you were going. Someone would open up a gate to the location, a moon gate. So, you know, I'm watching him reg up, and I'm getting excited. I'm like, oh, well, what's that? That's nightshade. What's that? Mandrake root. Oh, do you need any of that? Yeah. And he's like adding things to his pack, and he's moving things around, and I'm going, this looks like fun. And I'm watching him. Wait, hold on. Sorry, I need more coffee. So I'm watching him, and I'm like, he summons his horse, and he's like, no, I want to go on my beetle. So he stables the horse, and then he summons his beetle. I was like, you got a beetle? I want a beetle. Like, and I started like wanting to play so bad. Like, I was like watching him do all this stuff. And then I watch him and Elaine, they go out to this. So there was like different facets, right? There was Felucca, which was, I hardly ever went there, but if you went into Felucca, then other people could kill you. So you could, it was a player versus player land, right? And let me tell you, I was not a good, that's when they say you PvP, player versus player. I was not a good PvPer. I got all flustered, and these people apparently they used cheats and stuff, and like third-party apps, like way over my head, you know, and I'm just trying to like throw potions at them and stuff, and I'm just like dead in 2 seconds. So, but anyway, so I didn't know any of this while I'm watching my brother. So they go over to Felucca, and they're like fighting monsters, and then next thing you know, blah, and they're dead. And I'm like, what happened? And he's like, and my brother's like, ah, somebody killed us. And I was like, what? Somebody killed you? I was like, what? Well, what happens now? He's like, oh, they're looting my body. I'm like, looting your body? What? Well, they're just taking your stuff? Like, it was so emotional. My brother was so angry, and I'm just like, so then I'm like, dude, chill out. It's just a game. Like, that's not even real. That's not you. Like, they didn't just kill you. And he's like, oh, and I'm just like, okay. Well, I go home, and I call my brother, and he gives me the disc. I said, listen, okay, I'm going to download this. I want to play. I want to try this. Like after like a few days of watching this, I'm like, I want a bag. I want to sort my gems. I want to reg up, right? So he gives me the disc. I go home. I download it. I create a character. Like he helps me on the phone. He walks me through some stuff, you know, and then like takes me out. He shows me what to do, and I start, you know, trying to play this game. And then I remember he the next day, like I played, guys, I was like red rimmed eyes. The next day he calls me, he's like, you want to play? And I was like, I've been playing. And I'm like, I'm level blah blah blah. I was like obsessed. Okay, now clearly I don't do anything without some passion. So he's like, well, where are you? And I was like, I'm in Minnock Bank. And so he shows up there, and I'm like running around with like this llama pack mule. He's like, what are you doing with this thing? I was like, I found it and I friended it and it likes me now and I feed it apples. He's like, dude, you don't need this thing. And I was like, well, I want it. Oh my God. It was so funny. And he, like, well, later on when I got like really good at the game, we laugh about that. Like, he's like, yeah, I remember you were just picking up random things off the ground. And I was like, they all looked so shiny and important. Like, he was like, it's so funny how, you know, noobs, like, you can spot a noob. They just don't know what they're doing and everything seems important. And they're just like, why are you throwing that away? It looks so good. Oh, a pair of leather boots. But anyway, I got really far into this game, guys. I got in this house and I played way beyond my brother. My brother like healed and he was off and living real life. And here I was in Ultima Land. Like, I was like a legendary bard and, and, but so one time, like, it's so funny how the tables had turned, right? Then he was coming to me like, hey, you got a crafter? I was like, oh, I got a crafter for anything. What do you need? What do you need, big brother? You know? And he's like, I need some greater healing potions. Here's a keg of it. In fact, here's 2 kegs of it because that's how good I am. So like I said, I like to collect things. So anyway, but the first time is so funny, like my first week or so, okay, I don't know what I'm doing. When I first started, these people were running around with dragons, like huge dragons, and they're pets, and they kill for them. And those characters were called tamers. And obviously, you don't start out taming dragons. You start out taming like first. You start out taming. I can't remember, like bears or something, right? Like brown bears, maybe, or something small, and then. I'm going to have to expand this box. So let's just do that real quick. I'm going to show you how I do that because they're getting so tight. So I have here, and then I'm going to tell you this story. This story is hilarious. I have here, this is cardstock. Okay, so it's thick. And I have just a regular 4x6 photo box. I got this from Michael's. And I got it for $3.99. Okay, very cheap, very reasonably priced. Let me just go get a paper cutter. Okay, so I need to cut off what I should do is this. I'm just going to move it down actually no. Okay. I'm going to cut this like so. Line it up. a little bit more. I figured if I cut too much off, I can't add paper. So I can always take another sliver off. This is good. I think this is good. Maybe just the tiniest bit off again. Just the tiniest. There we go. That's going to be good. Perfect. And I might need two. So let's use this to measure. That was weird. There we go. All right. Now, let's see how high we want it. Okay. I don't know if it's going to go through two, so I'm going to do it like this. That's one. I need three because I can fit, I think, 4 rows this way. 2. Okay, I think we're done with the cardboard. This is all scraps. Okay. All right, let's move things over. So we have 38, 38, 38, 38, 38, 38 up to here. I feel like that's going to be a whole row. Let's try it. I don't know. I might need to break 38 up. It's going to be more than a row. Yeah, because all right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna put this here. And then where does this go? Put this here. I think I'll do 38 up to 38.40. There we go. And then 37s. $37.05. 37s and 36s. 36s. And then 33s. These are all the 33s. And then, the 3000s. Okay. And then the 900s. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, this is so packed. More 900s. I wonder if we can fit all the 900s in one now. Yeah. 902. 102. Okay, and then these 800s. 800s. I'm gonna move these over. Slide these over. Ooh, my shoulder's getting tired. Rest it. Slide the 800s over. Put this down. And push the 700s. 700s. Okay, and then 6, 5, and we'll put all the 400s over here. Okay. There we go. That looks so much better. Okay. Okay, let me get a cup of coffee. Let me get a sip of coffee. Okay. 9:45. I see it. It's speaking to me. Okay, so the first time that I went out with Aline, so, you know, I hadn't been playing for very long at all. And my brother had asked me, do you want to go on an adventure with me and Aline? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, okay. It's in Felucca. So this is where, you know, other players can kill you. And I was like, it is? And he's like, yeah, but don't worry. It's going to be fun. We're going to go to this dungeon in Felucca. And, you know, blah, 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 blah. And so the thing about Ultima Online was when you were a young when you were a new player, your character literally would say in parentheses young, so people knew that you were, you know, a noob, and so that it singled you out, hopefully so that people would help you, not take advantage of you, okay? Of course, there's always people that take advantage of the young and helpless, so you just had to be careful. But my brother was like, you have to denounce your young status in order to go, because you weren't allowed, I think you weren't allowed to go to Felucca as a young player, because you know, they could kill you. I already forget which one this was. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I remember standing at Moonglow Bank, and I was like, okay, well, how do I do that? And they're all like, just say, I denounce my young status or something like that. And so I did that. And then all of a sudden it flags you. It's like, you can be killed by other players, and you can this and this. And I was just like, and it was like, are you sure you want to proceed? And I'm like all scared. And I'm like, yes. So they're like, okay, get everything you need to go on an adventure. And so my brother is on the phone with, no. At first, my brother was on the phone with me, and he's telling me, okay, make sure you grab some of this, make sure you grab some of that, make sure you do this, do that. And I was like, okay. So, you know, we get ready to go to the dungeon. And they had these things called magicians, right? They could summon a moon gate. So the moon gate was something that would appear as like a blue oval, and all you had to do was walk into it. And when you walked into it, it would transport you to a marked spot in the game. So like you could mark a bank area, and so you would walk through the gate and you would be in front of a town bank. You could mark your home. So you had these runes, and you would mark these runes with different locations. Now, if it was marked for the other facet, Felucca, when they summoned the moon gate, it would be red to let you know, danger lies ahead, enter at your own risk. So of course, like, I'm on the phone and this red moon gate comes up, and my brother's like, okay. And he explains all this to me, and he's like, you know, just walk through it. I'm like terrified, right? So I go through it, and we're in this dungeon, and, you know, I'm just, now my brother and I hung up because now we got to get serious, right? So, you know, he's like, just stay close to me, blah, blah, blah. So I think I was riding a llama. It was because you could ride llamas too. I was riding a llama, and I was like, you know, I had no idea what I was doing. And the difference between this dungeon and the other dungeons, one of the differences was that, like, they had traps and spikes on the floor. So when you walked over them, all of a sudden you would just see like a little splurt of blood come up, and you would take hit points would be taken away. You would actually hear your character go, ah, and like hit points would be taken away. So I'm like walking on all these. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Well, what is doing that to me? And, you know, they message in the group chat on the computer, like, those are just spikes. Don't worry about them. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, so we're walking around. We're killing a couple things. We're not doing a whole lot. We're trying to get to to the actual spot in the dungeon that we wanted to, like, actually, I don't know what we were going after, but we were going after something. And so, you know, he's just, I'm just following these guys. I have no idea where we are, where I'm going. And as we're walking, all of a sudden, I hear, oh, and then I see in my group chat, Elaine's dead. Now, Elaine was our strongest player, okay? She's the one, it was actually a guy playing her, but she was the one that took my brother under his wing and taught him a lot of the ropes, you know, gave him a lot of things, gave him some money, gave him some good armor. And so then he was paying it forward by doing that for me, right? So she was like the group leader, and all of a sudden I see Elaine's dead. And I was like, Elaine's dead? How did she die? So I'm like trying to process this. I'm just like sitting there like, what? How did she die? Because there was no monsters in front of us, right? So it's like all of a sudden, I just hear her character scream and die. So I'm just like sitting there like, huh? And then I hear, oh, and then it says, Herod Antipas is dead. And I was like, Joe died? That's my brother. I'm like, what the heck? There was only 4 of us, right? So it was Elaine, Herod, and this character Eb, and me, right? So I'm just like sitting there like, what the heck? What is killing these people? Like, this whole part of the game is new to me. Like, you know, the traps and the floor. So I'm just like looking around. I'm just sitting there like wondering what the hell killed these guys, because there are no monsters in front of us. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like very confused. And then all of a sudden I hear, and it says, Eb's dead. And I'm like, huh? So I'm literally the only one left. I'm sitting there so confused, and I'm just literally, I'm just frozen in the spot, in the dungeon, like trying to figure out how my whole party just died. And I didn't even see the freaking murderer, right? I'm just like, so then my phone rings. I pick up the phone. My brother's like, get out of there, get out of there. I was like, where do I go? And I start, my character just starts running in circles, and I just keep running over traps, and my hit points are going down, and I'm just like, oh. And he's like, go, get out of there. What are you doing? And I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know where I'm at. I don't know where. I was like freaking out. And then next thing you know, it was just like, you've been killed. And then as a ghost, I saw who killed us. Well, the next day, I was like, guys, my adrenaline was up. I was sweating. I was shaking when my brother was like screaming at me, get out of there, get out of there. So he's like, he says to me, get out of there, get out of there. And I was like, what's going on? He's like, it's an assassin. I'm like, a what? So, oh my God. So, it was so funny. I was like shaking. I'm like, so when you die, the screen goes black and white, right? It's just black and white, and you're a ghost. You come up as a ghost, and you just, and we could see the guy who killed us, okay, the assassin, and all he kept doing was putting above his character, ha, 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 ha. And I was just like, what? How did he do that? Like, and so, you know, we walked out of there with our tails between our legs. Like, I mean, we just got completely owned, right? And I didn't feel as bad as they did, but I was like pretty upset. And now I understood. Remember when I said to my brother, dude, chill out, it's just a game? Yeah, no, I took that personally. I took that very personally. I think I wrote that name down. I was like so upset. So apparently this character had mastered the art of the skill stealthing. And so what stealthing is you can go invisible, right? When you go into stealth mode, you go invisible to other characters, and you can take a few steps at a time and not become uninvisible. See, so there's different ways to go invisible. One of them is to use, if you're a magician, a magician, you can use the skill and you can use the spell invisible. And you cast the spell, you click on yourself, and you go invisible. Nothing can see you. So like, you could use that to, if like, say, a really strong monster targeted you, and you know that you're not going to be able to kill it. If you could whip out really quick a invisibility spell and make yourself invisible, they will no longer target you because they can't see you. All of a sudden, because the monsters go red when they target you. So if say a monster was red and it was targeting me and I knew it could kill me, and I there was nothing I could do about it. So I real quick made myself invisible. All of a sudden the monster would go regular color, not red anymore, and just turn around and just like you're not even there because it can't see you. So that's one way of going invisible. Another one is so if you're a warrior, right, and you don't have any magic, they have potions, invisibility potions. So again, if you're out adventuring and a monster targets you and you know you can't kill it, you can simply drink the potion and it will make you go invisible. And then there's stealthing. So if you go into stealth mode, you immediately become invisible. But the great thing about stealth mode is you can then take a few steps at a time and remain invisible. When you are invisible any other way, through potion, through magic, as soon as you take a step, everyone can see you again. And of course, those things run out, right? Like the invisibility potion and the spell, eventually they will run out. You only have like so many minutes before you have to either do the spell on yourself again or take another potion, right? So anyway, what this guy did was he hid himself. He went to stealth mode and he just sat there waiting for some unexpected prey, us, to roll on in there. And he observed us and he could see Elaine was the strongest character. So he killed her first. Then he could see my brother was the second. So then he killed him. And he could see Eb was the third. And so he killed him. And he could see that I didn't know anything about anybody. And so he didn't even attack me at first. He just let me sit there wondering what the heck was going on, and then run around in circles and almost kill myself on these traps because my hit points are going so low. And then he finally just put me out of my misery because he probably felt sorry for me. And that's why he was laughing, because like it was just like such a oh my gosh. So here's the funny thing. My brother explains to me all of this because I was just like, what the heck? How did he do that? So he tells me, you know, he's an assassin. Assassins, they're proficient in stealth. They're proficient in poisoning. So he had the skill poisoning. And and you go up in that by poisoning things over and over and over again. And so what he had was like a dagger that was laced with deadly poison. And yeah, he just stealthed up to us, completely unknown and undetectable, and stabbed us with these deadly poison daggers and killed us. And then looted our bodies. I mean, he didn't get much from me because I didn't have anything, but like, you know, at that time, I think if you had like really good armor or something, I can't remember. Eventually they came up with this system where you could insure anything that was really, really good, so that, you know, you didn't spend a year trying to get an item and then it just get ripped off your body. But anyway, the funny thing is the next day, right, after my brother explained all this to me, the very next day, we all ended up in, I can't remember exactly how this happened. Like, I'm stalling because I'm trying to remember exactly how this happened. But I think my brother had called me and he was like, yo, you want to play? And I said, yeah, I'm at Moonglow Bank. And so he shows up, right? And he's like, where are you? And I said, I'm on the, you know, east side of the bank. I'm on a new character. And he's like, oh, who is it? I said, I named it Jax. And he's like, oh, what is it going to be? I said, an assassin. And he starts laughing, right? And I'm like, where are you? And he's like, I'm on so-and-so. I was like, who's that? And he's like, that's my new character. Also an assassin. Like, we were all making assassins. That was one of the characters that I didn't follow through with. So that's the thing. Like, it's very hard to level up. You know, it takes a lot of time unless you use cheats, which I did not. I physically trained my characters, so I mean it takes a long time, and so I mostly played on my Bard Mage Belle. She was a legendary, which means, so Grandmaster, a Grandmaster went up to 100 points, but if you got Power Scrolls, you could elevate that to 105, 110, 115. The highest was 120 in any skill, and so she was a Grandmaster Bard, which means she had 120 in provocation, which means she could pretty much provoke the strongest monsters to attack each other and kill each other. So she was really badass, really badass. But anyway, that was one of my stories from my gaming days. All right, guys, I don't know, how did I get onto that? I never plan anything, so I was, I don't know how that started, but yeah. All right, so that is it. I'm glad I finally expanded the box because that needed to be done. I have more, I still have more to kick down that are squares that I wouldn't have been able to. Let me just go grab my AB drills. Okay, so this is how I've been keeping my this is how I've been keeping my things separated. I mean, so this is all the special drills that I've bought from DpWithSparkles. So these are all squares, so they're going to go in the front here. The front is squares, and then past this organza here is rounds. And then 132, they match. These are DACs. So just gonna, this is how I keep my special drills in my art dot drawers. And then, do I have a 133? No, so this is gonna be a new one. This one was really pretty. 133, it's a dark burnt orange. Oops. That was such a fail. Oh my goodness. Oh geez, okay. And looks like I started to just use stickers, which makes more sense since they fit on here anyway. There we go. And that's it, guys. We are all kitted down. Yeah, and now, you know what that means. I can kit up the mermaid. And we're going to do that in the tray tower system. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying that out again. So, I will be back later this week. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on the way out. If you want to see more from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family and friends here at Kimbaskrafts. I would love to have you. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Keep diamond painting.